One of the things you'll see here is that one of the other things that I really like about Hex is you get to make educated mulliganing decisions. So my opponent and I each have what's called a champion, and the champion gives you an effect in the game that you're playing. So it's basically whenever I play 4 resources, my champion lets me do a mechanic called Illuminate. And what Illuminate does is it either makes me a new candle or it makes all of my existing candles larger. My opponent's champion power for 4 charges gives one of their troops +3/+3 and crush until end of turn. All right, so I get to Fate Weave here. So my opponent's card here that they've played out, it says at the start of each champion's turn, they get to Fate Weave. So basically this lets us stack our deck. So I get to choose a resource or non-resource every single turn now. So basically get to choose what I draw as long as my opponent's card is in play, and they also get to choose what they draw. Like Acolyte of Flame out here. So Acolyte of Flame is a 2/1 that when it comes into play, it illuminates 1. So because I didn't have any other candles already, it makes me an adorable 1/1 Candlekin here. And if I already had candles in play, this Acolyte would let me make a decision where either I make a new candle or I make all my existing candles larger. What does this card do? It says whenever they play a resource, it gets Flight. When they play a non-resource, it gets 1/1 till end of turn. Okay. Battle of Destiny. So this lets them deal damage to its power to target troop, and then they get to Fate Weave again. Sure. They killed my poor innocent candle. So the fact that they burned spot removal on a candle there makes me think, what does that do? Gives it 1/1 and Flight. So one of the things that's important to note in Hex is, all right, I got a Fate Weave again here. Modifiers, like what Blast Off does, if it doesn't say till end of turn, Hex, these modifiers are permanent. So my opponent's troop permanently has +1/+1 and Flight. I'm going to play this Acolyte of Flame out here. Yeah, I think Lyvaanth is fine. It's really good in your hard matchups. Like, it's good against, like, the blood decks. We've been playing 2 and 3, 2 or 3 main. 3 might be too many, but, like, I'm playing them because I really want to draw them. So... Choir on the Mage, joking there. So, one of the things that Hex does as well, that I personally enjoy because I'm kind of a data junkie, is that whenever Hex gives us all of the data. So whenever anyone plays any games of Hex, they're able to see the data from the game that was played instantaneously. So as soon as this match between my opponent and I finishes, I'll be able to go onto a website and look and see the deck that my opponent was playing here. What does this do? Whenever you Fate Weave target troop, you control its +2/+2 permanently. It's kind of scary. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop of Wax here, which will make a new candle. And I'm gonna go ahead and Runic Candescence to make a new candle. And then I'm gonna go ahead and play my Wrath of the Elements here, which voids a card that has cost less than or equal to the number of candles I control. So that card only costs 2, so I was able to void it since I have 3 candles. Stream Decker does not yet work for Hex, which is sad. Spell Song Sweeties, when their troop you control transforms. Crackling Tide, they bounce one of my candles to my hand. That's annoying. Yeah, I guess I'll take 2 here. Thanks for watching, C-Unit. Thanks for the support. So, I'm going to go ahead and play my Scion of Lyvaanth out. This is a really powerful Hex card. So what she says is every time I play any card, I get to illuminate. So either make a new candle or make my other candles bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and... What is wrong? Hey, careful, it's heavy, dude. I'm going to hold my Acolytes back for now because I want to use them to block these 2/2s. Since I'm kind of behind in the race here. What's wrong? Oh, you want to show the internet your Zord? Look at our Zord. Isn't our Zord sweet?
Hi.
Your Zord. Oh, geez. Are we going to die to this thing getting Flight? It's a good thing I have Wings of Wax here. I think we only have 2 or 3 of us playing this time. I think Bob qualified but can't play. And I think it might just be Shredder and I. So we're gonna get to kind of go off here. So this is gonna make my candles larger when I play this. And then when it resolves, it's gonna make my candles larger. And then Shardcall puts a resource into my hand. And you can see this card went off to the side over here. It is a mechanic called Runic, where it stays in this stasis state until I have a resource. And this is gonna let me get a resource here. I guess I should have counted to make sure this was lethal. It's probably lethal. So getting this resource re-triggers these, which re-trigger Scion. So my candles, you can see their arc getting bigger. Yeah, opponent packs it in because my candles are going to kill them. It's way more than lethal. All right, so what do I want to do here? One of the other things that's great about Hex is that their competitive ladder is best 2 out of 3, so you don't have the super high variance, like best of 1, hope I don't hit a bad matchup and I don't get to reserves to try and make it better. If you had a little bit of bad luck with your resources, you get games 2 and 3 to try to play out of it. This hand's decent. So this hand needs... This hand needs a diamond resource, but these ices have the Fate Weave mechanic on, so they're going to let me go ahead and stack resources on top of my deck, so I'm pretty likely to find a diamond with these two. Pretty likely to find a diamond with these. You want to pick a different show? Please leave the court alone. Go pick, buddy. Okay. Diamond. Ding, ding, ding. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this out, and I'll play this. I'm gonna play the Acolyte of Flame, actually. What does this card do? It's a 2/2. It's a 2 mana 1/1. It says when it attacks, it transforms into a random 4-cost troop for a turn cycle. Whenever another troop you transform draws a card, that's pretty good. One 5 isn't a profitable block for me. Alright, what do I want to do here? We do another Runic Candescence. I think I'm going to guarantee a resource on top of my deck here. And then go ahead and do this. This is going to allow me to replay this next turn because there's a candle on top of my resource on top of my deck. And then we can probably go Scion of Lyvaanth into Wrath the Elements if it's a non-slow resource. Battle of Destiny's pretty good. Doesn't kill my thing. This is going to make another candle next turn at least. It'll give me a total of 2 candles, which means my Wrath of the Elements can't quite kill their things yet. Crackling Tide's really annoying. They might tempo us out here, especially with destroying them extra cards. That's a big hit. Alright, it's a decent hit. So you have to go ahead and do this. And I guess I could play Wax Dawn, and then during my opponent's ready step, I could hit this Whimsy Witch with something with the Wrath of the Elements. Yeah, maybe that's ideal. Like, be a little bit conservative here, get 2 more candles. And I could pass the turn back. They have kind of protection, like a Gift of the Manti or a Gargalith. We could get into a little bit of trouble here. Maybe like a Halt out of the reserves. I might be able to get them with their champion power here too, though. Treasure, let's transfer a copy of that troop. Yeah. They're using Blast Off on their 3/3. Okay, that's good for us. See if they hit it with the if they hit it with the champ power too, that would be really good for us. Okay, they're champ powering that one. That makes sense, I guess. So we didn't 4 to this. I think I want to just Wrath the Elements, the Whimsy Witch here. I think with my Scion of Lyvaanth and all these 1-cost things, I'm gonna be able to just like grow my candles to race this 4/4 flyer. Flame Barrage is also kind of insane. So this card starts by dealing 1 damage to a troop, and then while this is my hand, whenever I play an action, that number goes up by 1. So now this deals 2 damage to a troop. The next action I play, it's gonna deal 3 damage to a troop, etc., etc. So make my candles bigger. Make my candles bigger. Hit my champion power. Make my candles bigger again. Turn them into 5/5. Can't see the artwork gets bigger. Ready. This candle's ready to crush. He's no longer cute. He's no longer a cute cuddly candle. He's ready to bring him to the Pound Town beatdown. So it looks like we're winning this race, and I have Flame Barrage to clean this up if we somehow change into not winning this race. Correct. This is the one with all the upgrades. Which the upgrades in this version, there's 3 non-budget cards in this deck. There are Scion of Lyvaanth, the Dragon, and Wax Sacrament. The three non-budget cards. You only have like 18 or 19 resources in the deck. Oh, Sabretooth's not really budget, that's true. Alright, I'm dumb. I don't keep track of what's budget, what's not. Alright, got him. The 45 on the constructed ladder. So, Hex ladder seasons are broken up into 2 months, and at the end of every 2-month ladder season, the top 64 players get invited to a $5,000 cash tournament, which the one for last season is actually happening this weekend, so I'm excited to play in that on Saturday. Excited to play in that on Saturday. No, I don't stream my large events. There's too much chance of people ghosting or whatnot. And then doing commentary while I play makes me distracted and makes me play worse. So when tournaments have real prizes, I don't stream them. Yeah, so again, plug for sponsors actually, Hex Primal. So Hex is a full buy, sell, trade secondary market, so you can buy decks outright from a reseller, you can buy cards from other players. There's an in-game auction house where if you purchase in-game currency directly from Hex, you can buy cards that way. So a lot of different routes to gain access to cards you're interested in getting. You can also grind the in-game currency for free. Who is casting the CCS? No idea. Maybe. We'll see. I think I'm gonna go Shardcall into Drop of Wax here, and then next turn this lets me go Runic Candescence into Guidance for a resource, just like try and curve out into this Lyvaanth nicely. Yeah, if you're interested in just playing the best deck and jumping into the game competitively, it's all like just like in Magic, right? It's just like buy the cards for the deck that you want to play. Huh, do I want to kill this? I think I actually want to kill this now that they played this out. This gives them a lucky coin every turn, which is pretty annoying. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this and then play this Acolyte of Flame because it puts the most power into play. Yeah, you can buy it card for card. Hex Primal usually has pretty good stock. Anything they don't have in stock, you can easily pick up off the auction house. Goldfather's pretty good. This card says whenever we play a non-resource, they get a coin. Also kind of stunts my attacking a good bit. We're just going to give him a bunch of coins here. Possible I could have played around this card a little bit better. I think I want to start making my candles larger, try and play around a possible Old Earthren's Glory. That being said, they could Old Earthren's Glory as early as next turn with their champion power, which is kind of scary. So if they go like Diamond Shard, Champ Power, Lucky Coin, they could Wrath our board, and we're probably dead. Okay, that's not a diamond. It's also not a shard that gives them a charge, so they don't get to use their champion power this turn, which is good for us. That's a good line. Lets them do that. Okay. Okay, and then that lets them hit their champion power to get up to 6. So we could get Secret as early as next turn then, right? It's a big boy. So their champion power gave this card a mechanic called Momentum, which says whenever my opponent plays a resource while it has momentum, this troop gets larger. So they were able to turn this into a 10-10, which they are leaving back on defense. They don't want to die to my candles. We unfortunately bricked on a resource there, so looks like we're gonna be in trouble. If I got to slam the dragon that turn, we might have been able to steal this game, but probably gonna get Eternal Secret and died. Yep. So Eternal Seeker, when it comes into play, they pick a number and it voids all cards with the chosen number. So card's very good against the Candles deck because all of our cards cost 1. Alright, so what do I want to do differently? We want these Sabretooths in my deck to kill my opponent's things. Wrath the Elements is a little medium. I think that's all I really want to do. Candlelight's probably too slow. No, I catch just like a good quality card. It's like it's a piece of, so the Sabretooth is a 5/4 for 7, then when it comes into play it deals 5 damage to an opposing troop. And you can also pay 2 and reveal it from your hand and then put it into your deck to deal 5 damage to something. So it's like a split removal / threat card in the late game. At the top link, Thomas McCoy, of the top bar on Hex Primal, there's a quick buy tool that you can just paste a list of Hex cards into and it'll autofill all of them into the shopping cart. I also believe it's just hexprimal.com/quick buy. Yeah, it looks like it. So that one there, you can paste a list of cards in there. And remember, if you do buy any cards, use that Jeff5 code, it'll get you 5% off there. So this list we're playing right now is actually the same list we played at the last time I streamed this deck. So you could go ahead and just grab it off my YouTube page or wait for this match to finish and grab it off PvP Tools. Opponent's hand is very slow. I think I'm just going to go ahead and attack here and then play this Wings of Wax out. So hexpvptools.net is a website where every ladder match and tournament match gets logged on there. So you can see as soon as this match finishes, my deck and my opponent's deck will get posted there, and you can see the result of our match and exactly what decks we played. Opponent's hand is exceedingly slow. I get Uldurthan's Glory next turn, aren't I? So I'm going to play this. I'm going to champ power my candles. I'm going to play Scion. I'm going to attack them for 6. And then if my opponent has Uldurthan's Glory next turn... No, that doesn't work. I was going to say I could Flame Barrage something and get them out of range, but this doesn't illuminate at all. Yeah, this is a bad line. We're just dead to Glory. Just dead. Their deck is like designed to beat candles, and it's a pretty garbage deck otherwise. It was actually the deck I beat in the quarterfinals 2 weeks ago. It's like a bad version of the Ruby Wild ramp deck. Yeah, it's like 90% against. I believe that. It's really bad against the Ruby Wild ramp decks. It's just like playing a bunch of cards that are mediocre. It's worse against the control decks too. That doesn't have things like Runic Avalanche to generate large amounts of card advantage. There's a lot of variations of things. What are the top 3 decks in this current standard format? Probably Candles, Sockets, and either Ramp or one of the Blood decks. If I had to pick 4, it would be Candles, Sockets, Ramp, and Mono Blood. But if you make me pick 3, I don't know if I'd put Blood or Ramp as the 3rd best. Yeah, I think the Candles deck matches up fine against the smaller momentum decks. Against the bigger momentum decks that are playing Eternal Seeker and Uldurthan's Glory, like what our opponent's deck was playing. Yeah, I'll probably play the Ramp deck. I top 8'd the last 2 bashes with it. It's probably fine. It lets me play sweepers. I like playing control cards and drawing cards. I would prefer to play a control deck in the CCS, but the problem with control decks in the CCS is that people tend to play a lot of garbage decks in the CCS, so I think I'd rather play something proactive. So like Ramp, Candles, and Sockets are the 3 proactive decks in the format. I think playing control decks in the CCS is a big mistake. Not Novocade's Blood deck, great. It's okay. It's a little slow, but it's probably fine. Opponent's playing Mill. We just Wax Sacrament on 1. Lyvaanth's pretty good against the Blood decks. GG, my deck's 90%. You didn't play a card and you died. Oh, TCG players. Oh, TCG players. Oh, they make me laugh. Oh yeah, just the purest of salad. Here's a good draw. So this is one of the powerful payoff cards in this Candles deck. So this card says whenever you illuminate, it gets -1 cost in all zones, and then it illuminates 3. So eventually this card becomes so cheap that it's free. It's very, very powerful. I'm not quite sure if I want this guidance to get a resource or non-resource yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and hold it, because I can use this to trigger my Scion down the line, which is appealing. Also, I can just discard it to this, I think. Seems fine. Shardcall is okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play this out. Swings of Wax. Again, I like to think of Scion of Lyvaanth as a 4-drop in this deck, especially against decks that are removal heavy, like what my opponent's playing, because when we play a non-resource, we get to illuminate 1 with her. So I want to guarantee that I get an illuminate trigger out of her, basically, to kind of play a better game here. And bury 5 cards off my deck rather than let them draw a card. I think I want to just start making these candles larger to get them out of massacre range potentially. So I'm going to go ahead and play her and play this and make these bigger. So a little bit worse against spot removal, but if they want to burn spot removal on these candles, that means they're less likely to have spot removal to burn on my Lyvaanth. I played a resource this turn, crack them for 4. So Dragon's pretty powerful. It's a 4/5 for 5 with flight and speed, and when it attacks, it illuminates 1 automatically. And whenever it's dealt damage, it makes that many Candlekin. So just very, very powerful dragon. I'm gonna be really sad if they hero fall my dragon this turn, though, because I have a second one in my hand, but let's jam and hope for the best here. They hero fall a dragon, I get to hit them for 4 as a consolation prize, I guess. Again, just gonna keep making these candles larger, hopefully get them out of massacre range before they find one. No, it works like in Magic, where if you go to draw a card but can't, you lose the game. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and play this Choir of Lumos for 3 tokens. And I'm gonna play this Drop of Wax. Packing it in. Alright, so control. What do I want to do? Is this really control? I guess I guess these cards down here on my bottom end probably aren't very good. Probably don't mind Candlelight, and I don't mind Reginald's Riposte. Probably fine. Just extra Rings of Wax for the Illuminate power. I think this hand is okay. The Choir of Lumos being in the opener, it makes it pretty good. We do actually want to get to 5 resources. These Fate Weaves probably aren't going to be particularly stellar because our opponent's playing a bury deck. They get to bury the Fate Weaves off the top of our deck most of the time. Another resource kind of sucks there. I'm going to go ahead and play this and put a non-resource on top of my deck. Hopefully we get to draw that card. Pretty good chance our opponent buries it on 2, though. Yep, Howling Madness. This buries 3 cards off my deck and then they draw a card. Another Runic Candescence isn't bad. This means next turn I'll get to go second Runic Candescence, Shardcall, retrigger both my Runic Candescence, take this Choir of Lumos down a good deal. That's pretty terrifying. So this card, this makes this card unblockable, and this says whenever that deals damage to us, they get to bury the top 4 cards of our deck, and then they get to draw one of them. Okay, so I'm grabbing a resource here. The question now becomes, do I want to make these bigger, or do I want to keep going wider? I think I want to go a little bit wider here. And then next turn, between Choir and my Champ Power, I could turn all of these into 5/5s, because this gives it +3/+3, and this gives it +1/+1. Yeah, Wrath does tag their constant, so maybe I should have that in my deck. It might be better than, like, Sabretooth, because it's pretty flexible. Okay, and like Massacre there, I couldn't get my cards out of Massacre range anyways, and my opponent's card there, their Librarian's now useless, right? So I'm not going to play around a second Massacre. Let's just go wide again. All right, your turn, go. I'm not going to hit my Champion Power just yet, but I think this is the best we could do. Do you have another Massacre opponent? There are... So I'm going to let my opponent draw a card here, and the reason why I'm letting them draw the card is there's a lot of mill cards in this format that start doing extra things once your opponent has 20 cards in their discard pile. So if you can kind of keep your discard pile slightly above 20, that's good for you. Okay, we've got 20 in our bin anyways. Dragon. Alright. Shard's not good, but I mean, it could have been worse. I don't think we're in a position to beat another Massacre, so I'm just going to try and kill them before they get to it. So this card buries a card off the top of our deck at the start of each turn, at the start of each of their turns, so I'm actually going to use this ice to Fate Weave a resource to the top of my deck, because it basically thins a resource out of my deck to do this, because it's going to get buried by their Cult of the Nameless City. Demented Destiny, they bury cards off the top of our deck, and then they get to take one to their hand and it loses its thresholds. If we hit a card to eliminate, we could potentially kill them next turn. Dragon would be phenomenal. I wish this card showed me which card they were taking. I took our cat. Alright, Dragon is lethal. Candlelight is lethal. A few lethal draws here. Candlelight is lethal. Got him. Last you to 8, attack you for 9. Well, that's just a little bit too slow and clunky. And even that game, right? Like, we got massacred that game and we just, like, rebuilt and killed them. You have a hard time beating the second Massacre, but the first Massacre is usually pretty beatable with this deck. And if you hit a dragon, honestly, you can beat multiple Massacres. It's part of the reason why we're playing dragons. It's big! You're a big monster!
This is a
Big toddler monster! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Dude, you gotta be careful. Yeah, you're lucky I was able to catch you as you fell. Lucky I was able to catch you, nerd. Eaglov playing Rune Carver Darkon. Target action costs 2 less, your hand gets Runic. Interesting. Okay. Seems decent. Got some spot removal. It's got a bunch of illuminate stuff. It's to guarantee a third resource with this ice.
This one with this. This.
Who's a turd? Who's a turd? You're a turd. What? Alright, I kind of want to see what their deck was. So Eglov's a player that's had a lot of success in Hex. He played in their 100k, so like, they just conceded that, but I can go look and see what their deck is. Some kind of Turbo PA variant, it looks like. Sneak. Eaglov is actually, when I first started playing Hex, one of his control decks is actually the deck I bought. There's a Sapphire Wild Winter Moon control deck back in set 3 constructed. Said sorry, got to go. Candle's Mirror, maybe? It's decent. It's got Choir in the opener. Yeah, it looks like a Candle's Mirror. We need to grow, my children. Grow. Oh, you want to show this to the internet? Look at our blocks. Look at our blocks. You showing the internet your blocks?
1, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 colors. Best way to get banned in my channel. Say something that gets you timed out, and then come back and say that same thing as soon as you're not timed out anymore. It's like, come on, use your brains, CCG players. It's okay. It's okay, I promise. So this card illuminates every time it hits us, so I want to kill that right away. Just get that right on out of there. Build your house, man. Build your house. Okay, they don't have a resource. That's good for us. Ooh, Dragon's pretty good. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna go Runic Candescence, make a candle. Let's go Shardcall, replay this, make a candle. And then I'm actually gonna get to curve this Choir right into this Lyvaanth here, right? Scion's pretty good. Whenever they play a non-resource, they get to illuminate. So I guess I'm going to do this and make my candles larger. I'm just going to take an aggressive line here. I just want to try and kill them. So I can Wrath of the Elements this. And I can play this. I can smash them for 6 here. And then next turn, depending on what we draw, we might Dragon or Choir, depending on how their blocks go here. No blocks, okay. What are you doing, child of mine? Okay. Are you climbing? You climbing?
Dad.
Climbing on Dad?
Hello.
Alright, so this will force a chump block, right? Ow. Ow, child. Stop it. That hurts. That hurts. So if I do this, And then I do this. They have to jump block one of these. Yep. Has anyone seen Declan? Declan! Has anyone seen him? Chat, have you seen Declan? I haven't seen Declan recently. Declan! Declan, where'd you go, Declan? Declan Scott! Oh, there you are! Hi, Declan! Yeah. So, Riposte is pretty good in the Candles Mirror. I think the dragon was okay there, but I think it's actually a little bit clunky. Hey, we want a couple. Do I want to just max on removal, especially on the draw? I think Wrath of Elements is a little clunky. No, we went 3-2 in the league. I just didn't have enough time to play another league before Jake gets home from school, so we're closing out with some Hex. Do I want Wings of Wax in the mirror? Probably. Runic Candescence is probably our worst Illuminator, so let's do that and just board up removal and Riposte. You have Kiki Cord. Kiki Cord's like Old Faithful. It 3-2s leagues like a champion. It gets modern out of 2 matches and then wins 3 others. It seems okay. It's a little resource heavy. They got a couple of Fate Weaves to guarantee non-resources though, which is nice. Hey, stop that.
Wow.
Stop slamming that. Sorry to anyone whose ears that just hurt. If you slam it again, I'm taking it away. That was an excellent draw. Yeah, we're just gonna be aggressive here. We're just gonna go turn 1 Wax Sacrament, turn 2 Acolyte of the Flame. So again, we're on the draw, but I think we could take an aggressive stance here with 1 into 2. You make a big house.
More has big has more. More that has big house. More has make house and more has make house.
So one of the things when you're on the draw in the Candles Mirror is I feel like you just want to trade as often as possible a lot of the time. So if my opponent offers trades here on an attack, I'm definitely going to trade with them. Yep. Would love to draw a non-slow shard here, actually. Snap that. My guidance for a non-resource here would like a piece of removal. Backstone kind of sucks. Take a non-resource here. Probably in a lot of trouble. They're gonna get a good attack in this turn. We're not gonna be able to block because their candles will be larger. Yep. They have a Waxstone or a Choir of Lumos here. We're gonna be pretty on the back foot. Wings of Wax is also decent. I think maybe I should have mulliganed my hand. Not having any removal just isn't good enough on the draw. Really need spot removal here. That is not that. Make these bigger on the off chance they trade. I don't think they will. Yeah, we're probably just dead this turn. Shard Choir kills us. Shard Wax Sacrament Choir definitely kills us. Yeah, Scion's probably super lethal. Very dead. You say this version of the deck is better than the light 'em up version. I've not played the light them up version, so I don't know. I don't have an educated and informed opinion to give on that question. It's decent. It's the curve 1-2. It has Flame Barrage, so Candles here, and again, not going to offer this trade because I'm on the play, so I'm going to get to leverage my candles larger, faster usually. We just want you to spew, right? I refuse to spew. Picking off candles aggressively is good. It's a good line on my opponent's part. Reginald's Riposte is an okay draw down the line here. Do that. I'm going to guarantee a resource on top of my deck, so hopefully we can hit a second ruby for this Riposte here. I'm going to offer this trade here. Yeah, if you're on the draw and they offer the trade, you should take it every time, I think. Just like looking to not get run over by their larger things. Ruby. Alright, that's not the worst. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this for a resource. Hopefully find a ruby. Ding, fries are done. Now I get to attack in with my candles, because if they block, I get to wax on them and blow them out. This deck just like screams waxed on. Maybe I was supposed to riposte that. I'm just gonna go ahead and wax on here. I think I'm gonna hold this for Choir of Lumos. Do I want to take this now? Yeah, I'm a liar. I'm just gonna take this. Opponent knows they can't block and they would like this trade, so I like that attack there on their part. Riposte is very good in the mirror, I concur. What? You have water, I can see it from here. Alright. It's pretty good. Maybe I started going up a little bit too soon. Alright, that's good for us. That's good. Yeah, I'm just gonna smash here. And then I'm gonna go drop, make candles. They just like speed bumping here. Okay. And then me making a bunch of candles here allows me to have chump blockers on the backswing in case they have like a choir. So they're gonna need like waxed on into choir here basically. I guess it's possible. No, I'm just gonna make a third candle here, I think. Yes, they need waxed on. They need wings of wax into choir to kill us here. Don't have it, so they're dead. Sweet. Got 'em. 31 on the constructed ladder. No, just one would have been fine, right? They had 4 candles, and wings gives them +1/+1, and choir gives them +3/+3, so they would have been 5/5s, but I had 4 5/5s to kill me. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it for the morning. The Illuminate Theory, it reduces it by 1, so it's not each point of Illuminate, it's each instance of Illuminate reduces it by 1. So Verdict is the only answer to candles. Yeah, not really. The Seeker Glory decks are okay too. There's a few different powerful answers. The Massacre, the Verdict decks are good answers. They have Massacre as well. You can play Scars of War. There's a lot of things, a lot of good powerful answers in this format. At any rate, I'll be back tomorrow morning with some more Hex all morning, and I think I'm going to sneak back on this afternoon for another Magic Online League. So I'll catch all y'all around later. Follow the channel and Twitter for notifications on when I'm going live and with what. Peace, folks.